I Want More Comics and Games presents New Comic Book Day December 3rd, 2025. DCKO begins its all-fight month with Round 1, featuring Superman vs. Captain Atom along with issue number 2 of the epic event Night Fight. Poison Ivy reaches issue number 39. Doctor Strange debuts a new number 1. The Hulk takes on absolutely anything in Hulk Smash Everything, and Wiccan takes on the challenge of the Witch's Road. The spooky takeover of Christmas continues in Dread the Hall's 2025 one-shot. For the first time in 5 years we get a new single issue of Criminal. Inferno Girl is back with Red Book 2, number 1. Something is Killing the Children releases issue number 45. Star Trek Red Shirts is on issue 5. And the holiday season is alive and well in Terminator. Santa Claus is coming to town. Get what you want and more at iwantmorecomics.com.
It must be Tuesday because I think yesterday was Monday and tomorrow's Wednesday.
You are getting that correct. Absolutely. We are back on a Tuesday evening right before a fresh new comic book day. The first one of December. Happy holidays to all. It is an interesting one. We have a few things to go over, but Keith, why don't you show them how to join us?
Well, you use the technologies and stuff and punch buttons and get there, but
so far we're good. Yeah.
Mostly join us at iwantmorecomics.com. Click on the shop at the top and hit new releases this week. You will see the same page that we are browsing through. And all of these just fantastic selections are available out there now. And you can turn around and make your purchases for shipping or for pickup. Pickup starts tomorrow at 10 a.m. And beat the rush. Don't worry about if you've overslept. Get ahead of the curve.
That is correct. We talked about holidays, so why don't we jump into a fresh but reprinted holiday edition of DC Comics Limited Collector's Edition, C-43. What a name. It is Christmas with Superheroes.
It's the biggest book of the week, and that's not because it's hype, it's because it's physically the biggest.
Physically huge, yeah.
So another Treasury reprint. These finding old copies of them can be such a pain to chase down because it's just not available, not out there. They didn't survive the era. So doing reprints on this is a lot of fun that people can turn around and fill in and be able to read the stories. And if you don't have reindeer, I guess you just need Superman to fly you there.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Everybody seems to be having a great time there.
The list of creators on this is monstrous.
It is huge. I think reprinting is a great idea. Like you said, so little of these made it through, and the ones that made it through time, it got wrecked because they are huge and hard to take care of. The unique ones on here also, I really like when they do these facsimiles in foil because it gives, if you have the original, a foil one's kind of nice, just to have something to read or show off during the holidays. I myself am a big comic book reader. I like holiday comics during the holidays. A lot of people watch movies and stuff like that. I like to dive into some great holiday issues. So that is a good one.
$12.99 for the regular, $14.99 for the foil.
Excellent. Another blast from the past that we are refocusing on. You heard it in the reel under Image Comics. We have Giant Size Criminal number 1. Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips are back. They are celebrating a TV series that's coming out. It says on the eve of, so apparently it might be streaming soon. I don't think I've heard anything. If you have, let me know in the comments because I'd love to watch it. But we also know that shipping can happen all sorts of times. So it was bold of them to put it in anyway. This is, like it said, the first time in 5 years we are getting a first single issue of Criminal. For the most part, they've been doing hardcover graphic novels for Criminal that have had a full story inside. This is going to be an annual sized over printed edition. And it's all new stories from Ricky Lawless, the character. the reason you want it, the one thing that's more important, if you don't know, Ed Brubaker loves us local comic shops, and they will add a ton of really cool stuff into the single issue. So even if this does get reprinted, you're going to want to get that first print because it usually has stuff that won't ever be reprinted again.
I did do a quick Google. It still says it's coming out in 2025. So we may see it this month.
There you go.
What was it, on Amazon, I think? Yep.
That's exciting. I mean, I can't wait. Anything Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips, and Criminal is one of the things that launched them. So I highly recommend. If you haven't ever experienced, this is a great jumping on point. If if you're new to the Brubaker Phillips idea, for $5.99, there is, I don't think, a better way to start than right with this one here.
Nice.
Moving on, we can talk. Where is it? I had it. That's trigger warning. We're going to Abstract Studios because I just want to talk about all the things that Sean loves. This is Terry Moore bringing Kachu and Francine to the Wild Wild West. So if you don't know about Strangers in Paradise, it is the greatest romance novel you've never read. That's just part of it. The character development, it's great. The fantasy's great. The artistry is something that should be studied. Terry Moore is aces all the way through and through. Another one shot for $5.99 that can get you some exposure to someone you might not know, but absolutely should as a comic fan.
Yep. Highly recommended.
All right, let's move back over to Marvel and talk about something a little less intellectual, but all the worthwhile to do so. Is called Hulk Smash Everything #1. This is going to be, I believe, and I could be wrong, but I think it's a mini series. It's going to, Ryan North is basically answering the question, is Hulk the actual strongest? That means, can he beat everything? Not just other superheroes, not villains. He means everything. Dinosaur, planets, it doesn't matter. Put Hulk in front of it. Can he smash it? This is Hulk Smashes Everything. It is a fun little romp of just chaos and high octane destruction.
And that cover art by Andy Kubert is great, but there were a couple options there.
Yeah, I highlighted the foil edition of Adi Granov, which was gross. That thing looks awesome.
Going back to it real quick there. Just the Vecchio, the Mark Brooks. Yeah, the foil does pop really well. Mm-hmm. And Sakara is on the 1 in 25 there. So, yep.
Excellent. I wanted to highlight a series that I think is kind of underground, but really picking up some heat. And I think you can actually help me with this as you have some numbers behind it. But in IDW, Star Trek in general has been doing well.
Yes.
But Star Trek Red Shirts has just been, everybody keeps asking me about this comic book. The thing about it, if you don't know, obviously in the world of Star Trek, we all laugh about the joke about red shirts. Like, they bring in extras, they have red shirts on, and they're like, oh, not Jerry. Jerry just touched the beam and now he's an ethereal object, This is a kind of like lens on that, like a magnifying glass. And what it kind of turned itself into is almost like Suicide Squad and Starship Troopers mixed together. So it's a really fun romp. It's on issue 5, which I believe means that it's going to be getting a trade paperback soon. I think if you're interested, if you have a Star Trek fan in your life, you should be looking out for it.
Really cool covers on this series. Christopher Cantwell has been writing it, and it is, by sales numbers, the #1 Star Trek series for the shop here. People that jump onto it are not letting go. So it is one of those few rare ones where we start to see the numbers increase as the series goes deeper. So I would expect for them to find more ways that they can use this kind of material and come back with more. I think that there's one more after this.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
This is what wraps it up.
without looking. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think so.
Moving on to Oni Press has, for my Rick and Morty fans, we have a Rick and Morty The End issue coming out. It's basically kind of the culmination of a lot of the miniseries that had happened beforehand. Rick and Morty versus the universe, the multiverse, and now it's the final, but it also has the excellent, thank you for highlighting it, the blind bag list variant.
So innovative, so fresh.
Variant, yes.
So making fun of the trend that's really popular right now with the blind bags, of course,
Mhm.
you have a book that's completely exposed and you know what you're getting as you're buying it. So I believe tonight we will be updating that with the final art, because that one says not final art.
Mhm.
Unless that's what actually they printed, which would even be funnier.
It could be, yeah. Next, I have a manga over on Titan that I talked a little bit about during catalog, and I brought it up during the final orders due. Just wanted to give it one last shot. Has a little bit of Lone Wolf and Cub called Stray, basically an ex-convict on a path of redemption. Kind of has a John Wick Lone Wolf and Cub story to it, but a man just trying to make things right.
Nice. This is slated to be a little bit more of an ongoing. So usually you can kind of tell with the manga side of things, if they're going to give it a volume number like 0, like 1, then we are expecting more after this. We may even have additional ones available to order at this point.
All right. Next up is under Marvel, we're going to get Strange, because Doctor Strange has a new ongoing starting in 2025. Numero Uno hits the shelves this week. I know a ton of Doctor Strange fans, and I know they can't wait. If you were following Doctor Strange, a lot of nonsense happened through One World of Doom that has begun to conclude. And now Doctor Strange is in Asgard. He is teaming up with Angela and working more into a journey of mystery. A lot of really cool covers. And I think that if you're a Strange fan, if you're a hold slot, you're already in. If you are a fan, you should jump on. Don't miss a new number 1.
Yeah, and big ones to highlight there and all this. The Fan Yang variant with Angela is great there. The Mahani one with the nullified version there. Just solid pieces all around for that. So
that was going to lead into my other talk, which is why don't we filter our null variants and our Marvel rival variants, which are our theme variants this month or this week. We have a couple design variants and some nullified Doctor Strange and Spider-Man.
This is becoming a well accepted and kind of welcome by collectors. Certain skins inside the game of Marvel Rivals are getting their own kind of like design. So you'll see here on this Fantastic Four, this is what the design was for the Malice skin for Invisible Woman. Pretty popular there. And then Null just kicking off a little bit, his own stuff coming out, but he's invading other covers there to see what the world would be when he turns around and takes over other people. So
I might be wrong, but this might just be missing a tag. But Fantastic Four number 6.
Do you think there's one in there that's?
I think it's kind of a big one.
Fantastic Four number 6.
Yeah,
we had that one.
Yep.
Oh, the J. Scott Campbell. Yeah.
Yes. I think we should highlight that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to add a tag to that so people don't. Well, it's kind of, it's definitely Marvel's Rivals level, but I think that they're not officially calling it.
They probably did. Yeah, they probably didn't call it that because they like doing that. But
we can do it.
We're gonna do it. So
can't tell us what to do.
But yeah, that's I think a really good one. A lot of people are gonna be after that bad boy. It's got J. Scott Campbell. It's got Malice. I just see that one being important for collectors.
Yeah. I don't think that's. I think that should definitely not be missed.
Next up, we can go over to Image Comics to talk about the Massive Verse by Kyle Higgins. This one is actually Matt Groom and Erica DeUrso for Inferno Girl returning, Red Book 2, number 1. I know a lot of people that are really into Massiveverse, but also struggle with trying to keep track of where their Massiveverse stories are. So I wanted to highlight this for you that follow along. This is the second chapter of I think her name is Cassie Costa. Yes. So pick that up. And if you're enjoying that, I'll just side mention Immortal Batman. That's been doing really, really good. A trade paperback came out that we featured in a book club that I thought I'd bring up under Image Comics. It is Private Eye. Private Eye usually is a hardcover, and I think that they're actually re-releasing it as a trade paperback, which makes it a little bit cheaper. But a really incredible story about a world where, because of social media and cameras and things like that, everybody's face is very recognizable. So people wear masks around public, so they're not constantly recognized. It's
they kept this in the same size and format, right?
Yes, yeah, it's still kind of elongated, like it is in this picture. More like a comic strip style,
right?
But it's not a comic strip; it's actually full pages. But
right.
But a really great story. You're going to feel very connected to the grandfather of the story, and it will make you both sad and happy at the same time. I highly recommend it. Did very well with book club.
Nice.
All right, let's talk about. We could have gotten away with it this week, I think, but
no.
I'm not going to let it happen. We're going to talk about Batman 2025. There are third printings, and I want to highlight the Nick Dragotta cover, because this is, for those that are eagle-eyed, will recognize that this is Nick Dragotta's cover for Absolute Batman with just regular Batman in it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of see the juxtapose. I think that this is a good pickup for Absolute Batman fans and Batman fans, or if you just want to have the two cool covers next to each other. I think it's going to I think once people start recognizing what it is, it's going to shoot up and be in demand. So that's my prediction.
You can pick up 3 right next to volume 4, issue number 4 this week. So plenty going on there. This is another book that is gaining readers as it continues to come out. So our numbers keep moving up and try to stay ahead of the curve and keep it in stock.
While we're at DC, we might as well talk about the biggest event that they got going on, called DCKO.
I've heard of
it. We are in round 1 of DCKO. So I think that this comic is going to really kind of solidify what this event actually is about, right? We are now into DCKO 2, the issue, but that's going to be a 6-part mini series. And throughout that, there are going to be explanations of how the fight went through these one-shots. So this first one is, don't you want to know what happened during the Superman Captain Atom fight? Here is where you find out. This whole issue is dedicated to that one fight and what happens, just the knockout, drag-out battle, who's going to win and why. So I'm very excited for them. We're going to have 8 rounds of this bad boy, and the first one begins this week.
Nice. You got DCKO Night Fight right next to it for more of Batman's journey, trying to be the rebel outside the bracket.
Talk about something that went crazy viral. I won't give anything away, but let's just say that it's called Thirsty. What do they call him? Thirsty Batman, and it's a new version of our boy Dick Grayson. So that was an incredible book. If you haven't read Night Fight, I highly recommend it.
Nice.
All right. Next up, over at Boom Entertainment, I just wanted to highlight this cover I thought was really good. Something is Killing the Children, number 45. Something is Killing the Children does not need help selling comics, but this foil cover from Stefano Simone, I think, is sweet. It's spot foiled, so I think like the hair and the teeth might be foiled out. And I think it's unique.
Yeah, presentation on this is really cool.
Probably the first sellout on the rack for me.
Honestly, as cool as that is, the
Go ahead, hit me.
Here is
Mm-hmm.
really striking too, and all that. So,
totally agree.
I expect that to be popular also.
All right. From there, I had. Let's do 2 Marvels, and then we'll do our holiday breakdown. The first one is in Ultimate Universe. We have our Ultimate Universe 2 years in. This is the comic that's going to lead to the end, our end game title. Everybody's like, wow, it's really good. Why are we ending it? And I was like, why don't you want it to end on a good note? Ultimate Universe has a pretty big history of being really good and just kind of ending and being done. And this obviously has no room not to change. If it's not broke, let's not fix it. But we did a 1 year in annual that kind of explained all of what happened. And this is the same for this. It's going to kind of rehash everything and then introduce you to a few new things to set you up for the final arc of our Ultimate Universe. So pretty big comic right here.
I will be ultimately shocked here if we do not turn around and have a second print announcement of this very quickly
within the next week.
Yeah, for the content of what's in this book. I think it is really strong and a great idea that they are ending it as much as we're enjoying it. You stop telling the story when you don't have something to say.
That's exactly right.
That's how it goes. We all have our favorites that could have gone on further. But if this is where they think the story pauses right now, there's no reason we need to drag it out with filler. And we get the entire story and we can turn around and seek out the next thing to read.
I'm looking at the last couple words of this description and all I see is Ultimate Daredevil. So that's all I'm going to leave it at.
You're going to make that cover and then make it the 1 in 50.
Yeah.
You can read between the lines.
The other one is going to be a little familiar and I think just a teensy bit late, but still worth a shot of reading. Wiccan Witch's Road is dropping. I really wanted this bad boy in October, but we are getting it here in December, which is fine. We are going to follow Wiccan. You may have seen the series, the television series, but this is not going to be like that at all. We're going to have Wiccan and Hulkling arriving back on Earth and going through the trial of the Wiccan Witch's Road. I think it's got some really unique twists. Any fan of Doctor Strange or Scarlet Witch, I think, should probably jump in on this bad boy.
Been a fan of Young Avengers forever, but I do appreciate here how kind of the MCU is giving him an extra dimension, adding to the story and lore of the character. And going in the right direction to entertain at that point.
I agree. All right, real quick, we have now our holiday breakdown for the week, our first week of December, and publications have brought out some holiday stuff. We already talked about DC's Facsimile, but we have some new comics coming out. First one's going to be an Archie Comics publication. What kind of holiday would we have if we didn't have a celebration with Archie? It's going to be his Christmas Spectacular. 30 pages, brand new stories.
Pretty typical. You'll see one of these from Archie each year. There is the variant here, which is classic Dan DeCarlo.
Yeah, and I thought we'd highlight that for sure.
Yeah, good. Bringing back the nostalgia from earlier years on that.
Next up, we will go to Dynamite and talk about Terminator. Santa Claus is coming to town. This is I was like, I don't know what the take is here, but the take seems to be the idea that even in an apocalypse, in a world where we're losing our souls to the robots, we still have the old want, the nostalgia of a holiday season. So this is kind of like the tales of Santa Claus in the world of which we are losing to robots, but the tales we tell are growing youth on how to rebel and use that to link to Santa Claus. So actually seems pretty interesting. I think I'm going to give it a shot.
It seems to fit your holiday reading list.
Yes. Then we will move over to Image with our last two, our final two. The first one is Dread the Halls 2025. Pretty popular title from last year. So much so that they did like I think it was a summer special. They called it Dread the Halls H for the San Diego Comic-Con. So it has a lot of great writers on it, a ton of great artists, and it's basically a seasonal blend of like a Hallmark movie with slasher combined to the end. So if you like kind of quirky Santa Claus style stuff with some brutality, this is your gig here.
Cool.
I like the Luana Vecchio variant. And then also in Image Comics, we have Startling Tales of Santa Claus Annual 2025. This is 6 seasonal fantasy adventure stories to drive the cold winter away. St. Nicholas, wits with the devil, Mrs. Claus takes on the wild huntsman. So this is going to be kind of like all of your Christmas lore put into a small story edible anthology, which I think will be pretty good.
The creators list on this also, you've got some names out there, and I think that this list that's here is not even complete. Like usually when these big anthology books come out, they can only fit so much into the solicit. So look for a little bit more.
And if you see that price point, it's $9.99, but it is 80 pages ad free. Yeah. So that is ridiculous. It's a lot of time for storytelling in that bad boy.
There is a kind of EC homage 1 in 10 here for that, which features a pooping log. So make that with what you will.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. The final thing that I brought today would be just something that I think is a great gift. It is from IDW, and it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original motion picture special edition, the 35th anniversary edition of it. This is the adaptation to the movie in color, and includes the cutscenes that were added in the Mirage edition. For those that don't know, they cut up the movie. There's a Mirage edition of the original movie. It has like 3 or 4 scenes. Most famously, there's one of like Casey Jones watching television. That's the big thing. He like turns off the TV and goes out to help Raph.
Nice.
So those are included in this edition. $20. I think it's a great gift for those still looking for holiday stuff.
Well, that is a reasonable amount of stuff to do there. The rack is a little bit smaller than last week, so I think we can even maybe try to fit it all on at one time here. So
maybe, just maybe, we'll actually have enough room for all the comics that drop.
At the seams too many weeks, but please feel free to take your own time, browse through the website, and pick out what you're looking for. You place your orders, we pull them, and you can pick them up at your leisure. We will turn around and be back with you over the airwaves here, or the internets, as other people call it, tomorrow night for the stream sale.
Yep.
So join us here 5:30 on all these fine accounts here, and you can participate and see what cool new stuff we just brought in and are offering out for the first time. It's usually that stream sale. If you guys are not familiar with it, that is where we bring the buys first. Usually
that's correct.
The greatest area where we can highlight, talk about it, and educate and say, why is this stuff cool and worthy of your attention? So
it is absolutely the best place to get that comic you're hunting for.
And you are fully encouraged to join the chat and make fun of Richie and Sean all the time through it.
I can take it.
Yeah, it will be common. It will be what goes on there. But Thank you one and all for hanging out with us tonight, and enjoy your time. We will catch you on the next one.
See ya.
I Want More Comics and Games presents New Comic Book Day December 3rd, 2025. DCKO begins its all-fight month with Round 1, featuring Superman vs. Captain Atom along with issue number 2 of the epic event Night Fight. Poison Ivy reaches issue number 39. Doctor Strange debuts a new number 1. The Hulk takes on absolutely anything in Hulk Smash Everything, and Wiccan takes on the challenge of the Witch's Road. The spooky takeover of Christmas continues in Dread the Hall's 2025 one-shot. For the first time in 5 years, we get a new single issue of Criminal. Inferno Girl is back with Red Book 2, number 1. Something is Killing the Children releases issue number 45. Star Trek Red Shirts is on issue 5. And the holiday season is alive and well in Terminator. Santa Claus is coming to town. Get what you want and more at iwantmorecomics.com.